On to our first story, and the Ashanti region will be the first to benefit from the reclamation of Galamsey-affected lands. Affected areas in the Asante Akim Central Municipality have already been zoned as part of feasibility studies. Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources George Duka explains the government is committed to reclaiming the land. Nana Yaw spoke to the minister on the sidelines of the launch of a community mining concession at Amansie Central District in the Ashanti region.
Following the war against illegal mining, many mining pits were left open. The amount of investment for the reclamation is yet to be made known, but Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, George Duka, says plans are advanced to cover the pits.
Yes, reclamation as part of our Alternative Livelihood Empowerment Program, we have in a way dedicated some funds for the reclamation project. We have zoned the areas in the mining regions. We're currently starting from Konongo in the Ashanti region. Consultants on the field, they are doing visibility studies, how we can reclaim all these concessions that were mined illegally and were not able to reclaim. The government is committing to reclaim these concessions.
Government, through the security forces, will ensure contractors do not return to mine on the reclaimed areas. Mr. Duka is hopeful players in the mining industry will help the government succeed in reclaiming the affected lands.
We also appealing to individuals, more especially the small-scale mining association, to find ways of also supporting this kind of call by, in a way, reclaiming those concessions that are close to their mining enclave. So reclaiming is also not an opportunity to remine. You are to basically reclaim it. And we're also saying that if you are mining now and it is alluvial, you reclaim concurrently. You don't mine and leave it for years before you come and reclaim. The moment you finish mining, if it is, an established or a licensed concession, the moment you finish mining, you need to reclaim.
Meanwhile, the second community mining concession for the Ashanti region has been inaugurated at the Amansie Central District. It is expected to create 7,000 jobs for the youth of the area. For JoyNews, Nana Yaw reports.
Let's turn our attention to food shortage matters now, and government has responded to calls by experts to halt the exportation of food. This follows the hikes in foodstuffs on the market caused by the non-availability of some produce. The General Agric Workers Union, the Peasant Farmers Association and the Chamber of Agric have all expressed worry about the situation, saying it could worsen by the first quarter of 2022. They want government to assist with funding, stop the export of food, and ensure we build and fill our storage facilities. Let's hear from the CEO of the Chamber of Agric, Anthony Morrison.
There shouldn't be any allowance for export of any food. If for any reason someone needs to export food out of the country, that must come with approval from the ministry. And the reasons must be given. I'm saying this because some of the challenges we are having with the increase in food prices is because people have hoarded food. If you go to the borderlines, in the northern regions, in the BA area, in the Volta area, you've seen a number of warehouses that have sprung up. Foodstuffs were taken out of the country arbitrarily without any permission. We do not have any security system. Nobody is being stopped. Why are you taking this food out of this country? Who has signed for it? Who has permitted you? And these foodstuffs have been stored in those border towns, and they are now being imported back into the country and being sold to us at a very high prices. So we need to take some such measures to curb any export of food items out of this country. For early part of next year, we're going to have challenges with our food systems. So we will need to import quite more. What government needs to do is to make sure that when this year's produce are ready, we provide a mop-up strategy so that we can store enough food across the country.
We'll be taking a look at which kinds of foodstuff are seeing a sharp rise in prices. Let's check out the trends thus far. As you can see on your screens, trends of maize exports to neighboring countries between the years 2015 and 2020. And we have the figures in metric tons. In 2015, 11,015 metric tons. In 2016, 10,909. So some decline there. Then in 2017, there is a shoot up to 19,666, which is almost the total figure of 2015 and 2016 combined. In 2018, it goes even further, 23,483. Then there's another sharp decline in 2019 to 14,128, and in 2020 it goes up again to 17,240. And that's the trend there for you between 2015 and 2020. In terms of rice, the figures in metric tons, 2015, 3,400 metric tons actually exported to neighboring countries. In 2016, a bit of a decline to 3,066. In 2017, it goes up to 3,671. In 2018, a little dip, a little over 3,500. But in 2019, a very steep decline to 759, a mere 759. And then in 2020, an even further decline to 322, which tells you that in terms of rice, the exports have been in a sharp decline. But when it comes to yam, it appears it's on the ascendancy since 2015. 2,489 metric tons in 2015. It went up to over 10,000 in 2016. In 2017, 13,352. 2018, 24,000, almost double the 2017 figure. Then in 2019, 29,078 metric tons. And in 2020, 31,127. A steady increment there. When you look at plantain, 2015, 16,000 and above. 2016, 21,000 and above. 2017, a sharp rise to 40,000. And you would notice that between the years 2017 and 2019, it's hovered around 40,000 thereabouts. But in 2020, maybe on the back of COVID, a drop to 20,667. Let's take a look at soya bean exports to neighboring countries as well. And there too, some stabilization in 2017-18, but you would see that in 2015 and 16, 2,000 and over metric tons. Then there was an increment to over 3,000 in 2017 and 18. But again, in the years 2019 and 2020, a sharp decline, 830 metric tons in 2019, and in 2020, an even further decrease to 697. So we take a look now at Ghana's staple foods exported between 2015 and 2020 to neighboring countries. And if you look at the trajectory in 2015, 35,154 metric tons. In 2016, 48,000 plus. In 2017, double what you would have seen in 2015 and maybe even 2016, 81,193. 2018, 99,000 plus metric tons. But again, in the years 2019 and 2020, decrements, 84,986 in 2019, and in 2020, 70,052. Let's now quickly join General Secretary of the Agricultural Workers Union, Edward Karewe, who has been reacting to responses by government on halting further exportation of produce. He spoke on JoyNews Prime last night.
If the ministry is explaining that the increase of foodstuff, the price in foodstuffs, is as a result of the exports, then what do you have to do? The logical conclusion is that then reduce the exports. So we are making all this analysis based on the ministry's own information. So if it turns out that exports have been declining, then it means that the ministry has been giving false information to the public, claiming that it is as a result of exports that we are experiencing the recent rise in food prices. So it means there's a different reason. The buffer stock company has a clear policy of what they are there to do. Objective. One, they cannot force any farmer to sell their produce to them. Neither can they compete with the market price because they don't have those resources. So the buffer stock company purposely is to mop up excess produce which cannot be disposed of in the market. So if this time they want to now say that, okay, we would give so much money to the buffer stock company to be able to compete with the market, open market prices to buy the produce, fine. But we are already aware that the buffer stock company itself is constrained with cash and resources to do what they are saying they will do. So I'm not too clear whether they now have the money suddenly to give the buffer stock company to be able to buy at the open market price. Otherwise, the buffer stock company only comes in when there's surplus, and that surplus cannot be sold in the market. Then they now come in to mop up that.
Let's talk livelihood empowerment now. And beneficiaries of the Livelihood Empowerment Program, LEAP, are asking government to release their stipends immediately. They are paid between 64 and 106 cedis, an amount that has already been criticized as being inadequate. Meanwhile, the beneficiaries say their woes have been deepened as the recent delays in the bi-monthly payments have brought hardship on some of them. My colleague Justice Beidou has been out to meet some of them.
Jamestown, British Accra, serene and yet one of Accra's most populated suburbs.
British Accra is one of the oldest inner cities in Ghana. In places like this, cases of high unemployment, low educational attainment, and issues with housing challenges mean poverty levels are high. And it is in places like this that social interventions like the Livelihood Empowerment Program comes in critical.
The Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty Program is a cash transfer aimed at cushioning people at the very bottom of the income ladder in Ghana, mainly disabled, aged, and sick people. It is in Jamestown that Nicolina Ama lives. She's a single parent with 4 children and is a caregiver for a 90-year-old woman. She is a LEAP beneficiary and gets paid a little over 60 cedis every 2 months.
Very, very difficult. Sometimes
life is tough for me. There are days I stay indoors and cry. There are too many problems. Living alone is tough. So think about living with all these children. It's tough, very tough. It's tough, very tough.
Good children.
Nicolina has been hoping that the amount from the LEAP program would be increased so she could reinvest in her dressmaking business.
This month, tobacco. No. I'm waiting for it.
This month, the money has delayed. We are waiting for it. But sometimes we are called that the money is coming. So this month too, we are waiting for the call that the money is coming.
We are expecting it this month. It wasn't last month too. Last 2 months, we collected it. So we are expecting something this month. It makes it 2 months, 2 months. You see, but one thing I could say is, if the money is trying to keep, normally it doesn't happen.
We are about 38.
Mercy Okine, herself a caregiver on the program, is also a community leader here in Jamestown. She has consistently spoken about a need to increase the amount of money paid to beneficiaries.
The money is not enough to take care of the ladies. So if they want increment, yeah, we want. If I say they want, we want increments. Because you see the situation and the problems on the ground. That one will not do anything. Though it's supporting, it can't take care of you totally.
Our attempt to get answers from the LEAP Secretariat has been unsuccessful as beneficiaries continue to sit in a long, painful wait. Justice Beidou, JoyNews, Jamestown.
Meanwhile, NGO Send Ghana is equally not happy about the situation. They believe government will release the money to these beneficiaries if it prioritizes making the livelihoods of the poor better. At a news conference in Accra, Deputy Country Director Dr. Emmanuel Efriye said government should rope in the private sector if it is faced with challenges. There's more in this report by Hannah Odami.
75-year-old Alice Ajoka, who resides in Lower Manyakrobo in the eastern region, has been waiting for her LEAP money for over 2 months now. This is not the first time. According to her, she does not know who to ask whenever her money delays. She relies on the 64 cedis LEAP allocation, which she gets every 2 months when it's available. Her worry now is how to treat her ailments, which requires lots of money. I am sick and cannot work. I'm also unable to work, so I depend on government for survival. When my allocation for LEAP does not come due to delays, I ask some of my relatives to support me. I am pleading with government. We are his people, so he should please assist us and ensure the monies come on time. Alice's situation does not make NGO Send Ghana happy. They do not understand why authorities of the LEAP program and other social intervention programs do not make life less difficult for beneficiaries.
To join us to collectively urge our government to indeed release funding for LEAP and other pro-poor interventions. We wish to remind the government again that citizens have the right to social protection. Therefore, government should be committed to protecting such rights.
Acknowledging financial challenges that government may be facing in meeting all its social intervention needs, Dr. Eifa recommends a private partnership with government, which he believes will ensure sustainable financing for social protection delivery. He also wants social intervention programs prioritized in the 2022 budget.
And especially that the 2022 budget preparation is underway. We always will have the opportunity and will be speaking directly to the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. We'll present certain things to them, of course, so to highlight what we've been talking about, and the same with the Ministry of Finance.
For JoyNews, I am Hannah Odami.
Well, the Livelihood Empowerment Program is among many measures targeted at reducing poverty in Ghana. How has the country fared in this effort as far as poverty is concerned? Let's check out some data from the years 2017 to 2020 on Ghana's poverty rate and how we are faring. So we take a look at that poverty rate, 2017 to 2022 as projected. And in 2017, 12.3%. The poverty rate. It fell to in 2018 to 11.7%, and even further to 11.1% in 2019. But from 2020, it went a notch up to 11.2%. Again, just a tad up to 11.3% in 2021. And the projection is that this will stabilize in 2022. Now, looking at the percentages, 25% of Ghanaians earn just about 400 Ghana cedis. 400 Ghana cedis. And that, well, gives a lot of cause for concern. SNIT revealed this in its 2019 report that 25% of Ghanaians earn 400 Ghana cedis or less. That's about a fifth of about 30 plus million of us. Let's talk about roads and traffic now. And Central Regional Minister Justina Marigold Asan has expressed worry about the traffic congestion at Mankasim and how it's affecting businesses in the region. According to her, the number of hours commuters have to stay in traffic at Mankasim coupled with the increasing road accidents on the Accra-Cape Coast Road, has become a headache for the Regional Security Council. At a stakeholders meeting to find solutions to the challenges of road accidents, she assured commuters her outfit was working on getting some solutions to the challenges. Richard Kwejunyako has more in this report.
Claiming a lot of lives, maiming a lot of people, and destroying properties and all of that. We have assembled here to put together measures or ideas that will help us in going forward, if not going to eradicate it at all, to minimize the rate at which accidents are occurring on our roads.
Central Regional Minister opening the conference that sought to address the carnage of the roads in the Central Region. She spelled out the devastating effects of the road crashes on the economy of the Central Region. Justina Marigold Asan turned to another threatening challenge that's confronting the region, the Mankesim traffic.
I know we are working on them anyway, but for Mankesim, it's becoming a problem. This is causing so much anxiety and delay on our roads. We are saying that we are a tourism hub, all the beautiful accolades it's in the Central Region. Now people don't find it interesting coming to the region to do business because it's not profitable. But when you are traveling from Accra to come and do something in the region, you get to Kaswa, you get to Mankesim, and you have to spend 3 hours in the traffic. You would as well travel to any part of the country or region which will help you do your business. Because if you are coming to do something within an hour or two and it will have to take you 3 hours in traffic before you get it done, it's not becoming interesting again. If it is coming to the region to have fun and have to go through that ordeal, then I won't come. Then it's better you stay in the house and then enjoy yourself in your home. So it is important we do this.
Central Regional Director of the National Road Safety Authority, Linda Afutianan, called on drivers who use the road to heed to the speed limit on the road to reduce the crashes.
Our drivers, our riders, the pedestrians, we all don't respect the traffic laws and regulations. It means that we are highly indisciplined when we are on the road. Someone will see the speed limit on a certain section of the road. On the highway, it's supposed to be 90 kilometers per hour. But I don't think that any of us here on the highway will go 90 kilometers per hour or below. All of us go beyond the 90 kilometers per hour.
Central Regional Director of the Ghana National Fire Service asked drivers who use the road at night to drive carefully, as many of the accidents recorded happened at night. Reporting for JoyNews, Richard Kwejunyako, Cape Coast.
Following up on that, the Central Regional Command is appealing to transport unions in the region to work on the psyche of commercial drivers who use the roads to reduce the speed and unnecessary overtaking. He says the frequent accident cases on the roads in the region, especially that of the Accra-Cape Coast Road, could easily be avoided if the drivers are made to understand the value of the lives they carry. He was speaking at a stakeholders engagement organized by the Central Regional Security Council. Richard Kwejunyako has more in this report.
The Central Regional Security Council called the meeting to address the spate of road accidents in the region. The region has been recording huge statistics as far as accidents are concerned. Of particular mention is the frequency of accidents on the Cape Coast Accra stretch of the road. Many have attributed them to the negligence on the part of drivers. Central Regional Police Commander DCOP Kwejo Entwitebi is asking transport union leaders to hold daily briefings for the drivers before they start work every day.
I want to plead with everybody here, especially the transport union executives, to talk to the drivers of the commercial vehicles who are most of the time in a hurry to get to their destinations. The point is, if you are in a hurry and, may God forbid, something happens on the road, how do you get to your destination? Some of the big trucks get broken down on the road, and instead of putting the red triangle behind the vehicle to serve as a warning to oncoming vehicles, they will not do it. And so before you realize, in the night, other vehicles run into them, and lo and behold, there is an accident, at times fatal ones. So I want to plead with all of you, especially the Transport Union executives, to always hold daily briefings. This shouldn't be once a while. There should be daily briefings in the morning to all drivers who are going on the road. And if you do this, it's going to help a lot.
The police commander warned the general public to also bear with the police as they work to sanitize the road.
Another issue is the presence of the police on the road. When the police are on the road, it checks some of these things. That is unnecessary overtaking and overspeeding. But when the police come on the road, the very people we are serving will go on air and complain that the police are wasting their time. And so when the complaint becomes too much, the police administration will send messages to the various regions to stop our men from coming on the road. I know, of course, some of our men are not disciplined enough, but we are doing our best to help educate them on how to ensure that they do their work professionally.
Central Regional Minister Justina Marigodasan called on the stakeholders to put their shoulders to the wheel to reduce the rate of accidents in the region.
In the region, there are some areas that has been earmarked as accident-prone areas. There are some signboard indicating there are some curves. So and so people died here. So it's a caution sign that they've put there. So when you're approaching, at least cautious and then drive carefully, but they will always flout the rules. That education will plead that continuously let's educate the people.
The stakeholders say they will put in place stringent measures to deal with the indiscipline on the road. Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kwejonya-Akon, Cape Coast.
Let's talk money matters now. And the coalition of aggrieved customers of Men's Gold is demanding a parliamentary probe into the closure of Men's Gold and the role played by the Securities and Exchanges Commission. It's been exactly 3 years since the SEC ordered the closure of the gold dealership firm. An Interpol red alert was issued for the arrest of CEO of the company, Nana Appiah Mensah, aka Nam1, who is currently facing criminal prosecution. From one demonstration to another, the aggrieved customers say they've lost hope in government's commitment to helping them retrieve their money. Manoa Krante reports.
My money is over 300,000 Ghana cedis. Now, because of this, my junior brother has to stop his schooling. My children, their school fee, because my husband's money too is there. It was an investment we saw over 5 years.
Abena is a mother of 3 who kept all her life savings in defunct gold dealership firm, Men's Gold. She is agitated over government's seeming disinterest in helping customers retrieve their locked-up funds. It's been 3 years since the Securities and Exchange Commission ordered the closure of the firm, which traded in gold collectibles. The pinch of the closure is felt most by the customers in various ways.
I was having a severe pains on the eye, but I was using that during time I was working and other stuff, so I used to buy medication, go to...
Since the company collapsed, 35-year-old Stephen Abuaje has not only lost his job as a brand promotion consultant, but he's lost his sight also.
Go to hospital, checkups and other stuff. So the thing came severe, so I supposed to go to hospital and they transferred me to Kuala Lumpur. So as they transferred me to Kuala Lumpur, they told me that surgery was not made. They cannot do it at Kuala Lumpur unless India. So I asked the bill and we checked everything. So I thought I would get money to India for the surgery. I tried my best. I'm there living and then the eye just went off. Right now, I don't know what to do because I don't have any place to go again. And nowadays, I don't have money to rent anymore. So I used to live with my chama's house, with my wife, yes, and my boy. I have 1 kid.
Several demonstrations against embattled Men's Gold CEO Nana Appiah Mensah, aka Nam1, have not been successful in getting the monies released. Even though Nam1 is facing criminal prosecution over the matter, the customers say it is just a decoy to prevent them from getting their monies. Fred Forson speaks for the customers.
Go to court for 3 years. In fact, as we speak, there is no charge against Nam1. As we speak, because the initial 61 or 62 charges that were preferred against him were dropped. And so the prosecution says, we are doing investigation, we have dropped, we want to increase, we want to change the charge as we speak. So Nam1 is working free. He only reports at the CID every Wednesday within a week or something.
They want Parliament to institute a bipartisan probe into the closure of Maize and facilitate the retrieval of their locked-up funds.
We have learned through the letters that SEC did not follow the due process in shutting down. That's why we are saying that. That's why we are calling for an investigation into the closure, because we believe that something went amiss. Something really went amiss, and very soon the truth will come out. So that's why we are urging Parliament. Yes, let them in court play the dilly-dallying with the case, the criminal matter. But let's look at the civil issue. The civil matter is key.
For now, all they have is to look on as their investments continue to be locked away. Manuel Cranting, JoyNews, Accra.
Now, research fellows at the country's universities are calling for a proper handling of the country's youth. They also want extreme care to be taken in handling the country's resources in order not for succeeding generations to suffer. The researchers say the country's treatment of the youth and the resources might be a bane to the unborn if proper attention is not given to such issues. The researchers have been contributing to a roundtable discussion for mid-career professionals and academics in Cape Coast. Richard Kwejunyako was there and he reports.
The researchers say the country's young population should jolt the leaders into managing the resources and the needs and interests of the youth very well. Senior Research Fellow at the Institute for African Studies at the University of Ghana, Dr. Deborah Tobra says strong policies to safeguard the interests of the youth and the succeeding generation should be harnessed.
We have a population bulge. We have most of our population being 15 years and below, which we expect to give us some dividend. But depending on how we handle it, it may actually be a bane instead of, a blessing. And so we have to pay a lot of attention to issues that affect young people and that segment of the population. And as a nation, we need very strong policies to attend to the needs and the issues of young people.
Her counterpart, Dr. Samuel Esiedu Owusu of the Directorate of Research, Innovation and Consultancy at the University of Cape Coast says the country risks incurring the wrath of nature if the resources are continuously dissipated.
Our environmental challenges, for now we have water to drink, despite the fact that there's galamsey. What about the next 10 years, the next 15 years? What is going to happen? We just started planting trees, but the day that we were planting trees, the number of trees that were felled in the country, I don't know whether they were also up to the 5 million target. So even though currently we are doing some national issues, but the future where we, the young careers, are going to inherit is also of very paramount importance for us.
Director for the Institute of Oil and Gas Studies at the University of Cape Coast, Professor Simon Mariwa, called on the young people to conduct themselves very well when they are undergoing mentorship.
But as a young academic, your duty first is to understand that such policies exist. What is causing it? How has it gotten to? Where do I want to belong? Do I want to go to faction A or faction B, or I want to stay non-aligned? That is what you have to understand first before you make any decision. But my advice to them was that it is better to stay neutral so that you benefit from the two groups towards the successful growth of your career. And that is very, very important.
The roundtable discussion brought together mid-career professionals and academics, providing inspiration to the young academics. From the University of Cape Coast, my name is Richard Kwejunyako for JoyNews.
We'll return briefly on JoyNews Desk to talk education and the classroom project. We'll be right back. Today in our classroom project series, there are many public schools across the country with serious infrastructural challenges which often reflect in the quality of pupils they produce. But the story is quite different at the St. Mary's RC Basic School at Intum. The children there are determined to beat the odds. Ernest Minu travelled to the central region where the school is and filed this report.
Nine-year-old Akosua Adoma Owusu is the leader of the Diaso District Child Parliament in the Central Region. She is confident and very eloquent. In her open-air Chamber of Parliament, she addresses very critical issues that affect her and children within the district.
Let's now hear the views of members of both sides.
Madam Speaker, teenage pregnancy has become rampant in our country. But, Madam Speaker, there are some important issues to look at first. Speaker, just recently, I traveled to Inconia for some private matter. Speaker, I wish you were with me to experience the gozo on the road. And we know that these are the same roads the cocoa farmers pass on to bring their cocoa pods to the city.
If you tell it that die during childbirth or the infant die during childbirth, who will use this road? I ask Honorable Minority Leader.
But when she leaves her chamber and returns to her school, the St. Mary's RC Basic School, that confidence evaporates.
In school or our school, when you come in the morning, you see the goat's feces on the compound in our classroom. It is not good, we don't have a wall. The KG, our nursery or KG, it is the one we use it to build our house, moving sheets. We have not plastered it, we have not do it anything.
Indeed, she is the best student here. If Akosua is this confident in this environment, then you can imagine how she would fare in a much better resourced basic school. Now, this is St. Mary's RC Basic School, the school of brilliant 9-year-old Akosua. As you can see, the structure is uncompleted. They have no doors or windows. This roofing sheet is what blocks the classroom, but that is not enough to prevent goats from entering into the classroom. And already the stench here is very, very nauseating. And I cannot imagine how children can stay in this classroom and concentrate on their studies. You could see the wiring all over the place. And Akosua eloquently tells us how this has been affecting the academic work.
Sometimes you can hit. Then when you are opening it to, the stick can hit your leg. The school, our windows, when it rains, the rain come in. And sometimes we have to close and go home. Our bus even gets wet. When it rains, if it's a Saturday, then we go for vacations. When we come on Monday, when it rains on Sunday, when we come on Monday, the rain have come in our class and you have to sweep here. Sweep here. And the goats spread their feces in it. Sometimes the children come and write on our board.
The teachers, though dedicated, are equally demoralized by the very place they are expected to impart knowledge and raise the country's future leaders. Isaac Ejekum Asamoah is the head teacher.
Animals are disturbing, are defecating in our classrooms every day. We need to wash and allow it to dry for some period of time before the children can go to class and learn. And because of that, some of the teachers, when they come here, after some years and look at the situation, then they leave the school. So sometimes we are lacking teachers, and sometimes too, you come to school and you are not happy because what you come and meet in the school.
Sometimes the frustration reaches unbearable levels, but instead of quitting like some have done in the past, They go extra lengths to help alleviate their plight. That even includes building this structure to house kindergarten children.
Well, it is to help fix weak infrastructure such as what you saw that we bring you the Classroom Project. Your support in any form can change a life forever and produce many more Akosias, and definitely much better if you give them the conducive environment. So these are our numbers. This number is on mobile money, 0593 038 832. 0593 038 832. The name on it is Joy FM. You can also pay to Access Bank account number 009010105491. Those are the details. You can also reach out to our front desk and call the number 0302 216 540. The Classroom Project, promoting social justice through philanthropy. We take a break now for business. Do stay.
Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. The World Bank has settled on Ghana as a model country to assess the impact of the effectiveness of fresh grants to developing countries. According to senior economist Aurelian Cruz, this is part of an analysis to measure the impact of its support to developing countries in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. He spoke at the Maiden Presidential Business Summit.
The government of Ghana must be doing something right because the World Bank has chosen Ghana as a yardstick to evaluate the efficacy of support to developing countries. Senior economist at the World Bank, Aurelian Cruz, revealed this at the Maiden Presidential Business Summit.
That we are embarking on a new analytical task for which Ghana has been selected as a pilot bank-wide, namely a country climate development report. This is important because the crisis, for all the hardship it has brought, has also presented us with an opportunity to build back better. And indeed, we believe that COVID-19 recovery measures can play a role in making the recovery more resilient and sustainable, and in allowing Ghana to leapfrog to the frontier in terms of its development path. And again, this effort will have to be facilitated by the state, but driven to a large extent by the private sector.
Meanwhile, President Akufo-Addo has reiterated government's commitment to intensify dialogues with the private sector to increase public-private partnerships. Speaking at the same event, he assured that the outcome of the deliberations will be prioritized to provide actionable solutions to support the development of the country.
The strong rebound in growth, low inflation rates, the stable currency, the strong reserve position, and FDI flows are clear indications of our collective desire to restore the Ghanaian economy onto a path of sustained stability and growth. We will continue to strengthen and deepen our engagement with the private sector towards realizing this goal. Ladies and gentlemen, the thematic areas and sectors selected for deliberations during this two-day Presidential Business Summit have been carefully chosen to ensure that the outcome would be an actionable business compact with clear commitments from both government and private sector.
Vice President of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Victoria Haja, has charged government to reassess strategies and projects critical to the revival of the economy.
Now, trade volumes between Ghana and South Africa have witnessed significant growth over the past 18 months despite COVID-19, according to the president of the chamber, Grant Weber. Now, speaking at a trade and investment seminar that sought to establish business relationships and contacts between Ghanaian and South African business owners, Mr. Weber said he is highly optimistic the partnership will be successful.
Ghana is now South Africa's second largest trading partner in West Africa after Nigeria. It is in this light that the trade and investment company, Westgrow, in partnership with the Ghana South African Chamber of Commerce, organized a trade mission focused on bringing together agribusiness owners from both countries. The seminar saw the networking and exchange of contacts between these businesses. However, President of the Ghana South African Chamber of Commerce, Grant Weber, believes government support could go a long way to increase gains from Ghana's collaboration with South Africa.
Sustainability is always the challenge. I think as long as government has policies which are enabling and then move out of the way and enable private equity and private capital to perform, the markets always determine who wins at the end of the day. But I do think in ECOWAS, Ghana has made great strides. I think Ghana is the shining light in the ECOWAS region, and there's no reason why it shouldn't continue to be the gateway into West Africa.
Joy Business spoke to some businesses about their expectations from the partnership.
It's been very nice, I should say, very exciting. You know, I think the South African embassy and the government has made a deliberate effort to build relationship with Ghana. I don't know about other countries, but we see them all the time bringing in people here and inviting some of us there. So they are very friendly and the people are ready to work with us. They are looking for partnerships. They are looking for that kind of collaboration, I should say. They are looking for brothers and sisters of Africa. So it's been a nice experience.
So far, it's very good. People of Ghana are very welcoming. They are very interested in our products, and we've got a good relationship with them so far, and we're looking forward to working with them.
It's been absolutely great. It's not my first time, so we'll be traveling with Mr. David to Kumasi, and hopefully there I'll be meeting a lot of different art association and also checking out the textile printing hubs and the weavers and any craft that can be applied on textiles as well. My expectations is for us to set a new type of breed when it comes to the textile market.
And that's your business update. Sports is coming up next.